I joined this game and stayed in this game for a multitude of reasons, and so have many of the players that make up the Airsoft world. Trying to go over all the reasons why people play Airsoft would have us here for hours, so let's do something a little bit more reasonable. I asked around and found out all sorts of things from Airsofters around me to make this video. So let's check out just 10 reasons why people play Airsoft. Just be sure to tell me in the comments down below why you play or what reasons might get you into the game. And I want to do something special here. If we break 280,000 subscribers in the next month, then I'll give away this setup. I'll make a video for this giveaway if that happens, so if you haven't subscribed yet, then I'd love to have you become a part of the channel, so I can do more countdowns and lists like this one. But before we get into the 10th spot, I want to give a thank you to Airsoft GI for their continued support of everything I do here. They were a big help when I was starting off, so I appreciate what they do for me, so I can make trips and do reviews for you guys to enjoy. And of course, I want to thank G&G Armament for all the stuff they do to help promote my channel and to keep me busy with all sorts of new things they're releasing, so big love goes to them. But alright, with all that read and said, let me explain that I'm seeing a lot more people join the game of Airsoft to stay fit and to exercise. I'm not sure if this has always been a thing, but more and more new players have been joining the game to burn off calories, to build up body strength, and to just test their stamina, but I totally understand why. Airsoft can be very demanding on the body, especially in long military simulation games that can last anywhere from 12 to even 24 hours at a time. And even in quick SpeedQB matches, you'll be darting between barriers and snap shooting pretty much constantly. Even I feel a burn when I'm running back and forth filming everyone so I can make the third-person gameplay videos that you see here. Just imagine after putting on 40 plus pounds of gear like magazines, BBs, battle belt setups, maybe ceramic plates. All that stuff adds up, and now you'll have to run miles at an event with all that on while dodging BBs and dishing out your own. You can make it as much of an exercise as you want. Burn some fat here and there, and then go to the gym and lift some weights. I'm no expert by any means, but if this game is making people healthier and stronger, then I'm all for it. Just like how I'm all for people finding new hobbies to enjoy. Here's a little secret about myself. I want to pick up DJing for the next year. It doesn't seem to be too expensive, and I have what I think to be an extensive library of electronic music. I think it'll be fun, and maybe I might make my own music at some point, once I learn all the basics. But that's just me wanting a new hobby, and if you want to get into the hobby of Airsoft, then welcome. This will be a fun outlet for you. We all need a hobby, and for a lot of people, Airsoft is their one and only. There's a bunch of reasons for that, which I'll go over in the next reasons. But if you're playing Airsoft because it's your new favorite hobby, then I really hope you enjoy it and continue playing. Airsoft is an amazingly goofy, fun, sometimes serious if you want it to be, hobby that you can do almost anything with. Make up your own game modes, play real-life Call of Duty if you'd want to. You can do anything with it, and almost anybody will enjoy the game if they really get themselves into it. I don't really have much else to say here, so let's just move along to the next reason. This next segment hits as a three-piece, and you'll see how these all relate to each other. Airsoft can be realistic, right? We all know that. If your kit is on point, photos can confuse people. Heck, they use Airsoft replicas all the time for TV and movies, and that's a big draw for a lot of people. And once you find out about gas blowback, it's over for your wallet. You can make Airsoft as realistic as you want it to be, or just goof off with it, like I've said. Or you can just have fun in all ways. Like look, this is an LCT G3. It's pretty cool, it's made from steel, it's heavy, and it has that HK slap that everyone wants. But yeah, that's cool. But did you know that you could get a gas blowback version? That's just how Airsoft is, and I love it for that. Another reason why I love it, and a personal reason why I joined up, was to own a replica of this. Even if you had no intent to play, Airsoft replicas end up in a lot of enthusiasts' hands. Certain laws and restrictions can make owning the real thing difficult or impossible, so Airsoft replicas can bridge a gap sometimes. Again, this helps making short movies or some videos with friends, but once you figure out that there's entire games and events where people use those replicas safely, you'll want to at least try it. When I was looking at getting my first Galil replica, I had no intention to play Airsoft, but it only took a couple more hours of digging on YouTube before I found Scout the Doggy. Needless to say, it was an amazing discovery for me. Some people join after getting a few replicas of their favorite pieces of history, and others join in for the realism that Airsoft offers. But for a lot of veterans out there who have joined over the years, a lot of them have joined to escape from PTSD. Right away, I'm going to tell you that I'm no expert on the subject of PTSD and the troubles that associate with it. I'm only echoing what military veterans have told me. Airsoft is a way to relax. They can use the tactics they've learned in the military while blowing off a little bit of stress at the same time. As an added bonus, they can meet a lot of other vets and talk about things. Or they can bring their own friends along, which really does help. The added benefit of seeing and handling platforms they remember or only saw while serving and getting to join a large-scale event is even more enticing. Whatever makes things easier for service members is all good in my book. If Airsoft is their escape from things, then so be it. Veterans are a great source of information, tactics, history, leadership, and so on, so I welcome them. Maybe then I'll be on the winning team a bit more. I love these next two reasons for people joining the game. They're just so humbling, and I can relate to them. I was told so many times that people join Airsoft to see new places and to make new friends, and I totally understand. The amount of traveling I've done because of Airsoft is insane, and I don't mean because of work. Before the US Airsoft channel really went anywhere, I had to drive up and down the state of Texas to enjoy new fields and meet new people, and I hadn't left my own home city before that. Now I've been to California, Virginia, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Taiwan, and now I'm planning to go to Japan and hopefully Canada next month. People travel a lot for Airsoft events and even weekend skirmishes, and I bet the road trips are so much fun. I want to get an RV or a transit van because of Airsoft now. Then I can really enjoy the adventure more. As for making new friends, that comes easy with Airsoft. If you're a history buff or a video gamer or even a competitive player, you're gonna find like-minded people fast. I made so many friends because of Airsoft within hours, and I still do every time I visit a field or an arena. Even if you're a bit antisocial or an introvert, if you're anxious, if you have a lot of anxiety, you'll still find some good team members that will turn into great friends later. May I suggest making friends with the I just want to have fun guy. You'll get some of the best laughs if you do. Then combo those new friends with a road trip and you'll have even more great memories. So go out there and make some new friends and see the world around you. Just be sure to tell me about your stories in the comments down below so I can read them. Now for the last 3 reasons, 2 of which are the reasons why I joined, but the third reason not so much, since I didn't play paintball too intensely. Airsoft is cheaper than paintball. I've heard this a lot. If you look at a 2,000 count of 50 cal paintballs, well, those will cost you around $40, while a bottle of 5,000 Elite Force BBs can cost anywhere from $15, maybe $17 or $18. I won't say much about the markers themselves, as just like our replicas, the prices can vary wildly. Another reason would be because the paintball sites people once visited closed their doors, so they decided to give Airsoft a chance. They are pretty similar, so you can understand the appeal even without the affirmative hit identification that paintball undoubtedly offers. The cost of any hobby can persuade people to look elsewhere. It all comes down to that, and I'm sure some of the people watching are some classic paintballers that have joined us. And if you still play both games, then you get extra points from me. That's actually really cool of you. I have a lot of friends that were so deep into the paintball lore, and even some friends that tried going pro. And you should see them when another person that's like-minded comes to talk to them. They'll go on history tangents for hours, and immediately I get lost. But now for reasons 9 and 10. The 2 reasons that got me hooked, with Scout the Doggy and Milsim Junkie being my catalysts. I personally got into Airsoft because of reenactments and because of video games. But which one first? Well, these videos by Scout the Doggy were the ones that first attracted me. I was pretty young and had just watched Saving Private Ryan for the first time, and Medal of Honor was my all-time favorite game series. So I scoured YouTube for World War II reenactments when I was allowed to be on my father's computer. And instead of finding a real reenactment, I found the Scout the Doggy channel. I was immediately hooked on the concept of using replicas against friends to play out fictitious battles. Now, I personally don't believe that there's some age where you should turn off your imagination. So I thought it was wonderful to find something called Airsoft where I could do all the sorts of things I saw in movies and games. But ironically, I forgot about Airsoft. I was about 10 and didn't have a dime in my pocket, so what could I really do, I thought. Fast forward about 6 or 7 years later, and I looked into Airsoft again to see if it had advanced. And that's when I found Milsim Junkie, Airsoft GI with Bob and Tim, Level Cap, and all the classic Airsoft reviewers. At this point, I was so deep into the lore of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 that even I was seeing numbers. So when I saw this, my little heart just about tore apart. I needed a Galil. It was my favorite primary in Call of Duty, and it had an interesting history from what I read. So after mowing lawns, working at a drive-through liquor store, yeah, that actually happened for a bit, my boss was arrested for tax evasion. Ask me about it sometimes. Then there was that crazy time I was working at SeaWorld. I made some pretty good money kind of quickly with that job, so I finally got a WEM-14. I shouldn't have sidetracked. It blew up in my face, so I got a cheaper and more basic CYMA CQB-R, so I could learn the basics of the game at Mission Airsoft, and at a place called Chernobyl Airsoft that sadly doesn't exist anymore. Before I finally got this, my original ICS Galil AR. I have 7 Galils now, and I could use more. This one's real, by the way. This story isn't too unique. Games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Battlefront, and so on have attracted so many people to Airsoft. You can't throw a BB in the arena without having someone talk about Call of Duty or shout out gaming quotes. Gaming and Airsoft go hand in hand. So I say, keep building your Modern Warfare 2 loadouts and calling yourself Ghost. Keep planning out how you'll build a kit around an M1 Garand. You'll be happy to see it done. And I'll be happy to see your loadout on the field one day. And those are just 10 reasons why people play Airsoft out of possibly hundreds. Airsoft is becoming more diverse around the world, and I'm really happy to see it grow. It's all thanks to the many branches of Airsoft playstyles, the amount of new content creators, word of mouth from players, and so many more reasons, and I'm happy to see it. Hopefully one day I can return to this topic when I have more reasons to explain. So please go ahead and tell me why you started playing Airsoft or what is attracting you in the comments down below. Of course, I would like to thank everyone who's watching, who hit the like button, who's commented, and all the new subscribers that have joined the channel. You have no idea how grateful I am for all the growth recently. I'll do my best to pay it all back as we get closer to 300,000 subscribers. Let's just get to 280,000 first so we can give away this bolt action and scope setup. That will be pretty fun. And a thanks goes to Airsoft GI and G&G Armament for doing what they always do by sponsoring the work I do here. I would like to ask you guys to help support the people who help support us. Seriously, thank you guys. And that goes to the US Airsoft channel members as well. I haven't forgotten you guys. These people directly support the channel, like Hamlish Watson. Hopefully I said your name right. Jenny Shaw, Beaver Gaming 64, Benji Gibbs, Josh Brewer, and everyone else you see on your screen now. All of these awesome people go above and beyond to support the channel directly, so I appreciate every last one of them. And that's why they get to enjoy knowing what videos are coming up next before anyone else gets to know, and also get to take part in discussions about future videos. There's a lot more that goes into being a channel member, so if you're interested, then look into becoming one today with the join button that you'll see on the channel homepage or just down below. If you do become a member, then expect a shout out in the very next video. I'll give all new channel members a shout out personally. But until that next video drops from the city of San Antonio, this has been Scott Hollenbeck, and I will be sure to see you all next time.